I see you decided to accept my invitation. Good. I do hate having to follow up. Ordinarily, reception here would detain you in a whole song and dance, but you're no common contractor. You're my honored guest, and as such, I've informed them there's no need. I wanted to formalize my gratitude for your assistance on Greater Tranquility Station. What a shame our negotiations were so violently digressed. I felt we were making real progress, notwithstanding a subsection or two. In fact, that is what I summoned you here to discuss. Some messages have indeed been sent hither and thither through back channels. Alden remains convinced an agreement can be reached, and I concur. Mayhaps we're both overly optimistic, but if there's even the remotest chance of bringing the Order and Auntie's Choice together, the profit from doing so far outweighs the risk. To begin, you'll need to gain favor with both the Order and Auntie's Choice. I expect the Order will want you to, I don't know, clap some chalkboard erasers together or something. Do whatever you must to earn an audience with our respective leaders and convince each to agree to meet and continue the negotiations. You're confident, a fine quality, at certain occupational tiers, but mind that you're not overconfident. Auntie hates grandstanding. Obviously, you will need help to smooth over any points of contention during the negotiation, which will require some verbal finesse, but worry about that step upon reaching it. Capital! As I mentioned before, you'll first need to earn an audience with the presiding bishop and our very own chief executive before this plan can go ahead. When it comes to the Order, approach their laureates. They seem to run things. On our side, work with the VPs, improve their opinion of you, and gain their trust. Oh, and you might see about improving your oratory skills in the meantime. Persuasive rhetoric will certainly be valuable during the upcoming negotiations. Certainly. Aren't you adorable? Next, you'll be asking me to name a time I overcame adversity in the workplace. What is anyone apart from the function they perform? To wit, I am my job, and I rather think such an esteemed position speaks for itself. If price matters, there's the bottom runger. Dingy little watering hole on the Esplanade. Not glamorous, but you won't contract anything fatal from the drinks there. Probably. But for a person of means and taste, the best choice is undeniably the finest gin mill on board. They tried to name a drink after me once, but I refused. Too gauche. You'll find the best choice in the upper portion of the promenade. Oh, answering that would come dangerously close to upward communication, which is not something we advocate in Auntie's Choice. Wouldn't want the junior ranks getting the idea that they can review or, law forbid, critique their seniors. Suffice to say, Auntie Cleo is without peer, quite literally. This corporation would be adrift without her as our steady bellwether.
Hello, daring self-determinivist, stalwart seeker of self-betterment, or rapacious rogue of corporatism. Welcome to Auntie's Choice Esteemed Invaluable Disposable Agent Program. As in Ida, your assignments will be some of the most decisive and admirable tasks that Auntie's Choice has to offer. Idas help explore the wilds, plot our path, and shape the evolution of our beloved corporation. And with enough rugged determinism, you might even live to see the results. That's right, a life filled with action, adventure, riches, and romance awaits. Being an Ida will see all of your fantastical dreams come true. Now, if you'll just exit through to your left, 2 of our top 29 vice presidents are waiting to speak with you. And remember, Auntie's Choice Stay Hungry Meal Pack offers our finest pre-sliced bread and dehydrated water tablets in one convenient package for an additional price.
Well, wonderful to meet you. C.F. Pendergrass III, Strategic Reconfiguration. It's not every day we have such a capable operative accept our invitation to the undisputed claim. While it was those ill-fated peace talks that got you here, I've kept tabs on you for a good long time.
Yes, we've all kept tabs. Auntie and I have spoken about you several times now. Ursula Ormsby, Proprietary Insight Acquisition. You'll report to both of us. For now.
Indeed. It is our pleasure to meet you, and I am beyond tickled to welcome you to Auntie's Choice. We need someone not shaped by Auntie's meritocracy. It serves its function, but our workers tend to focus on rung climbing. We need an individualist who sees unorthodox solutions. A daring, non-conforming perturbation ameliorator to implement our monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
More succinctly, we are recruiting an expert outside consultant.
Be our eyes and ears, act as our emissary, and when necessary, dispense with any competition. I have a plan, a vision that will change the course of Auntie's Choice.
Yes, Charles, your vision. Created alongside myself, a team of researchers, slew of marketing experts, a moon-spanning computronic gizmo, and not least of all, Auntie. Don't allow our banter to fool you. We are valued colleagues who, under normal circumstances, hold each other in the highest esteem.
So true. This particular effort has our nerves a bit high-strung, but we'll still exchange Spratwurst platters come the 10th day of presents for Auntie's birthday. Your first assignment demonstrates some of the very qualities we need. Something unexpected, or in truth, unprecedented, has happened at one of our repackaging facilities on Praetor.
If I understand correctly, they're having, something of a workforce issue. Don't know rightly what you call it. Workers are, well, asking for things. It's strange. They've stopped working. The workers there simply stopped.
They expressed, and I know this is going to sound more than a bit strange, dissatisfaction. And they said they won't return to work unless things at the plant improve.
Specifically, they stated, until we meet their demands. As though employees have a right to demand anything of their employers.
Marvelous! Knew you could. Though do use caution. We don't know what sort of virus or brainwashing might have infected their minds.
They survive just fine. Think of the shareholders. Given to one worker demand, and they'll just demand more. Stim breaks, naps, one full day off every month. Where does it stop?
Dear law, what a bunch of devious, ungrateful, greedy little prigs! After all the opportunities Auntie's given them to repay us like this, I'm so disappointed.
So what do you suggest we do about such an utterly unheard of situation? It is absolutely imperative that we get those people back to work, whatever it takes.
Wonderful! You'll go to Praetor, meet the plant's overseer, and mediate an end to this lunacy, which gets those ingrates back to work.
I have zero doubt Auntie and I will be completely impressed by your efforts. Unless you disappoint, in which case I will disavow that statement.
I see you got her message. Glad you followed up. Now, the question is, are you just here to work an angle, or are you moved by our plight? When the brass sets an impossible deadline, who do you think everybody on the floor gets mad at? When trials run late because some lab tech melted, who catches upstairs ire? See, us in middle management, we get none of the credit, all of the blame. Catch hell coming and going, with nary a promotion or raise in sight. Well, we've had it. We pulled our funds to hire a maverick outsider like yourself to collect useful information on 3 local persons of interest to help us climb the ladder. First person is Melquiades Alcantara, proprietor of the Bottom Runger. Came up with this new drink, the Raptidon Bite. Everyone's dying to try it. We want the secret recipe. The second is an unnamed individual. Shows up at the Esplanade every day with a mop and an armed escort. What's his story? What does he know?
And why is he always waving at everybody? And smiling, too.
Head back here when you're done with them two. The third target we'll talk about after. Sort of a controversial figure around here. Consider him a concern for later. Anything else? That's what we want to find out. And that whole smiling business? Anybody that's secure in their place here has to have dirt on somebody. Something that we could capitalize on. Oh, nothing so mundane. Alcantara's cornered the market with an innovative concept. Our grand vision is... Okay, wait for it. Now he's done all the work, steal his idea. Wonderful, wonderful. Let me just say that we're all so looking forward to working with you. We can't wait to benefit from the fruit of your efforts.
Get you something?
Every budget from the most extravagant.
Afraid he stepped away to his office.
Minded of customers. We have
He's around the corner to the right, just past the stairs. Likely find him whipping up a fresh batch of Raptidon Bite cocktails. Won't do it in front of me. If I did, I certainly wouldn't share it with the likes of you. Stuff sells hand over fist. Think the boss would share that with me? I'm just a lowly factotum around here. I mean, I actually been concocting my own cocktail creations in my odd-off hour. I'm very creative, but, you know, he don't care. In fact, I have. I once made a drink called Death by Purple Berry and also Xeranium Poisoning. Very high concept. Only a select clientele would appreciate it. Fleetingly.
110% wholly plus.
More's the pity.
I'm sorry, but I'm quite busy at the moment. There are a half-dozen sinks left to clean this shift, as well as one thoroughly formidable latrine, and I... Wait. How terribly rude of me! It's you! You're the one who talked me down from my horrible course at the N-Ray range on Golden Ridge. Improving myself, my friend. I have a new lease on my existence, and it's all thanks to you. You see, I meditated on your words, and on the events that led me to strapping myself to an explosive threatening to kill us both. Something had to change. I realized that the tremendous question, that of controlling the universe's uncertainty, was too tremendous to pursue. So I sought an environment I could control.
Tell me, Victor, scientician to scientician, how do you feel about this new path of yours? Do you believe it in accordance with the plan? Are you, dare I say it, happy?
I take a simple joy in each latrine I leave spotless.
On a purely theoretical level, I admire that.
I do believe I am where I was always meant to be. Janitorial science is deceptively difficult and shockingly stimulating. If you've not, you must try it sometime. Eliminating the malodorous quality of a once bilious stall is just as stimulating a dilemma as any mathematical quandary. Anyhow, I mean not to ramble. Once again, consider me in your debt, eternally. If you ever require a sanitation engineer, I shall come running, mop in hand.
I want to defeat the Protectorate as much as the next rational sentient being. But I'm not sure it's worth allying with the corporatists. You're quite curious. I'm unsure if you're a mercurial contrarian, corporate stooge, or possess some hidden strategy.
Pitchball, they call it. My, how imaginative. And don't get me started on their...
They are doggedly persistent, I'll give them that much. Like a breadworm with a pile of manure.
Why even have the T-zones then? Oh, and sportsmen like...
May all our endeavors...
Investigator Yoshida, Department of Excessive Corporate Malfeasance. Did you know the deceased?
Our tossball teams play for keeps.
You keep on like that, I might just assume you have a guilty conscience. Were you aware if you had any business rivals, any disgruntled employees? Deals gone sour?
I'd pit our least bankable tossball team.
Are you asking the questions now? Thought this worked the other way.
Any day of the fiscal week, even with half our team's 32.
Just like on that show, Corporate Fixers for Hire. You're just like Rico Sockdolager in real life. Who does that make me? If you're after the recipe, you probably want to ask around at the bottom runger. Someone there might know who'd kill Melquiades for it.
I also enjoy the simple pleasure of watching professional athletes bludgeon each
Go on.
other.
You're clear to saunter freely.
Hey! Didn't you hear me growl in a discouraging manner? The first testee ain't to be disturbed.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm gonna, converserate a little. Just wait over there for me or something.
As you wish. Retreating to hover at a respectful distance.
Sorry, they get a mite carried away most times. Oh, that. Yeah. Wish they wouldn't say that. Ain't accustomed to fancy titles. Don't mind them. They're here to make sure nothing happens. To me, that is. On account of being a close personal friend of Auntie Cleo. It's all a bit much, to be honest. But I guess it's like Auntie always says. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing completely. Me? Rich? Never thought about it like that, but guess I do have all my vital needs sort of cared for. Save for anyone who cared to listen to me. Oh, until you, I mean. Been some time. Anyhow, probably shouldn't just mull about here engaging in idle talk. She saw me, she'd probably chide me for being overly friendly with everyone, like she used to. Wait, really? Why, sure. I mean, guess I can't see the harm. Hey, stay here, will you? Me and my new friend here, we're just going over there, to the bottom runger, to talk.
Staying put, but keeping alert as if our jobs and our lives depended on it.
Look who's back. You. I know one. Valo Andrews, owner of the Best Choice. Wasn't too keen on our success. Melquiades said she's meaner than a bag of Raptidons. I'll miss his wit. The only way I'd ever make it in that place is crawling through a vent. Some of us have pride.
Right, so how does this all work exactly? They bring you a drink, and then people just converserate?
Imagine the ad windfall.
Oh, right, and I'd add that big talk is for big people who matter. So we don't talk about work matters or our day. Okay then. What other sort of stuff you want to talk about? The weather, maybe? Oh, Felicity. Felicity Carroll. Dr. Felicity Carroll, eventually. So guess she's Dr. Auntie Cleo now, technically? If that's how that works? She came to be lead scientist of research and development at Numa Experimental Station. I knew her when she was just Felicity, back in the good old days, when the company still did, human testing first, instead of just letting stuff willy-nilly out into the wild like now. I was her best test subject. Guess that's why them guards call me the first testee. Hadn't occurred to me before. Auntie must have come up with it. Sure was determined. I'll tell you what. Made her own healing grease in a rusty old can of Spacer's chalk. Got one of them entry science jobs at Auntie Cleo. You know, the corporation. Not the person. Was a whole different person back then, if you can believe it. Started scaling the corporate ladder right quick. Weren't too long before she left the colony completely. You think? I'd sure like to think so. Not that I'd want her to feel bad or sad or nothing. Oh, you got me reminiscing something fierce. Did I mention she and I shared an expired chum bar once? Good times.
You don't say. Don't suppose you can think of any other fuzzy memories like that, or less fuzzy ones?
Maybe I can remember other important things like that. I'll sure try. You know, this is nice. Talking like this is much better than when the other person just ambles off like they never heard you.
Notice you've got your own share of prostheses. Those from the garbage pile on Argos, or testing on Numa?
Lost an arm back when we learnt that antacid wasn't safe for skin. One foot was testing a Raptidon repellent where, I guess they were more just indifferent? I lose track. Oh. Well, you know, I haven't talked to her for, going on 40 years or thereabouts, I think. But, you know, we were real tight when we were nubbins. When she approved my request for this role, I got a letter from her that said, dictated but not read at the end. Like she was talking right to me. Or at me, maybe. You know, you're probably right. Sometimes thought it might be good to hear from her more, but I guess she's real busy. All I know is one day, Felicity said she was up for a promotion to be Auntie. Said it was an idea that went through every generation or some such. Auntie, she told me once she needed to climb to the top no matter what, but that she was real sorry about the people she had to step on to get there, though. You think? I mean, admit I sometimes don't get, jokings or inference. Maybe you're right. That might be all I want to talk about. The rest makes me, you ever have this empty falling feel? In your chest? Like that, I guess. I don't know, would hate to be rude. You come out with me and all. No. There's stuff I can't say things about. Not to somebody I just met for now, I reckon. Sorry. You know what? I haven't felt this springy inside since Fel and I worked the garbage pile in Argos. Like, less bad. Maybe good even.
Hello. Fabulous work earlier. Been hoping for a chance to collaborate together again. And finally, the stars align. I have something you'd be ideal for. Interested? Or have you already had your fill of the creative side of this business? Splendid. The key to any successful collaboration is creating that exact kind of attitude. We've had a bit of a dispute on a prominent aetherwave drama we produce here. Some outsized egos at play, let's say. Main issue, once again, comes down to realism. Authenticity. Figured you, being such a maverick outsider and all, would be perfectly suited to advise. It's called Corporate Fixers for Hire. Heard of it?
Confidential work in...
That's the one. Take it you're a devoted fan. You in? Pays about the same as before. Well, wonderful. You were invaluable before. Head back to the recording booth. I'll meet you there and introduce you to our so-called talent.
This is our star performer and sages Shilliber, Holter Williger. He plays Rico Sockdolager, head of our top-notch team of paid troubleshooters.
So very glad to meet you, whoever you are.
And here's our lead writer, a master of fervid puffery and dynamic product-oriented dramatization, Ruby Rory.
Charmed, I'm sure.
This is our maverick friend who advised on our latest advert. Brought a real sense of authenticity to the proceedings. More realism than you can shake an actual stick at. The two of you have questions our unconventional nonconformist friend here can answer, definitively and genuinely. So fire away. I'll leave you to it.
In this episode, we're introducing an important walk-on character. A covert agent type with a hidden past. Someone, full of intrigue. What kind of background would be wholly true and unconditionally authentic to someone like that? Someone like you, but not you. An agent you admired. Fabulous. I mean, so real and realistic. I will endeavor to depict it in the most truly true, genuine way.
I'll be coaching our walk-on's performance. What sort of delivery would be completely honest to this person? Interesting. Well then, I shall dutifully characterize your authoritatively truthful direction. Alright, now, at this point, I need to illustrate a critical problem that our crack team along with the walk-on need to solve. Give me your honest feedback on the read. This manager won't go down easy. She discovered our tampering with the Computronic registry to shift blame away from our client. Now, it blames them for everything. What do you think? Honestly, too much? Was I gilding the lily? All right. Good feedback. Very useful. Got it.
Last question. Right afterward, we introduce a crisis of some kind. What Auntie's Choice product would be most useful? Perfect. Incorporate that department's ad copy.
Fabulosity, absolute fabulosity. Always a pleasure to work with you. We'll remember that. And likely hire some other grizzled-looking so-and-so plucked randomly off the street. You should start hearing that episode on the wireless anytime now. You've probably already started hearing your advertisement. Well, I hope you look back fondly on this whole creative dalliance. No, I will. Now, just a moment, and we can hear it all assembled.
What are you doing back here? No one's allowed. Who left that door unlocked? What are you even doing in my bar? Someone will be fired over this. Then, once they reach the nadir of their sorrows, rehired, only that I may fire them again. And I don't know what you think you're seeing here, but ignore all this. What? All this? Furtive mixing of cocktails is simply how I relieve stress in a productive manner. It's a Raptidon bite, a unique concoction devised by Melquiades Alcantara, who was simply my dearest friend. Or was. I procured its recipe from him before his unfortunate passing, and before you ask, yes, I have receipts for everything. No, I don't think so. Now that we have the recipe for this dreadful elixir, our clientele no longer have reason to stray. Think you're wearing down my resolve, don't you? Ugh. Maybe just a little. Look, I see you're going to be a problem. Just cover my efforts and expenses and the recipe's yours. Our patrons are returning already anyhow. Fine, you can have it. That admittedly was a mite embarrassing. Any serious player would have locked the door first, before spreading out incriminating evidence. Here you are, one lightly bloody, slightly less secret recipe. Time for you to blunder out the way you blundered in.
All finished? Knew he was connected. What'd you find out? He tell you any secrets about Auntie?
Or inspiring stories about her career ascent. You know, that might act as encouragement to them like us, presently stagnating in our position of paid employee.
Huh. A rumor had it she was one of the Schuyler line, old money family, type who looked down at anybody who worked for a living. Never seemed like her. I got a whole lot of insightful observations like that, you know.
Wait, there's been more than one Auntie Cleo? Explains a lot, now that I think about it. Like how she ain't a few hundred years old. Huh.
What else?
Whoa! Just like normal people.
That's real relatable. I mean, we all done that, right? But I just never thought she would. 'Cause she's Auntie, you know?
Yeah, like she could eat a bar right out of the paste obtruder, the freshest and least natural it's ever gonna be.
Learn anything more? Those details were highly motivating, both personally and professionally. Real roadmap to success kind of thing.
Diverges greatly from events depicted in Auntie the Musical, the all-singing adaptation of Auntie's life story, which we've all, of course, watched 9 times. Didn't make the drink, or didn't make... Oh, I see.
Less we know about all that, the better. But I knew you'd effectuate effectually. Right? Wasn't I just saying? Here, for your trouble, from all of us. Now, about that last person of interest. There's a former Spacer's Choice VIP in the brig. We tried talking to him, you know, to see if he had any useful dirt. But he's kind of mean.
Full of scathing invective.
Belittling, one might say. But, you know, tough sort like you might have an easier go of it. Nah, they got him set up like in olden times. They let everybody walk up and holler at him, throw produce and such. Whatever that is. You know, we all been chewed out pretty fiercely before. Kind of a regular occurrence, really. But I swear, I ain't never...
I still have nightmares. Sometimes I think I hear his voice, and I start to run.
Uh-huh. Likewise. Future generations will tell cautionary bedtime stories about that day. Oh, that sounded very take charge. Have to remember that. Okay, we'll make sure you've got authorization to the brig when you arrive. May you effectuate effectually toward the agreed upon goal state. That's the middle manager handbook again. Real take charge stuff.
Welcome to The Brig by Corporate Compliance. Please do not taunt the prisoners. Thank you. I know what I said, and I meant what I said. Visitors to the brig are required to taunt the prisoners, at least to the best of their abilities. We hope you've deeply enjoyed your visit to The Brig by Corporate Compliance.
Come to jeer at a fallen old rival like all the rest. Swear I heard from everybody else in this rickety tub. So far, I am decidedly unimpressed. Been some sorely lackluster heckling from your colleagues. Clever as barbs weren't clever enough by half. Not expecting much, but go ahead. Try your worst. Let's hear it. That was almost all right. Better than most. Pretty so-so. Got anything else? You implying I'm suffering from oxygen deprivation? You do know the only thing keeping us breathing on this tub is an air scrubber built by the lowest bidder. Joke's on all of us. Anyhow, you done yet? Or you got more? Har har. Wait, was that a physics joke? Like my mask doesn't have much mass, and therefore has weak gravity. Huh. Maybe you're smarter than you look. You're almost half decent at this. Not especially skilled, but not atrocious. Not good, though. Definitely not good. Don't abandon your present employment by any means. Wait, you didn't come here for the express purpose of ridicule and castigation? Well, certainly embraced it, though. Respect the flexibility and commitment. So, all right, I give up. What do you want? By that measure, everyone outside Auntie's Choice would be interesting. And trust me, nobody's an inkling as captivating as I am. Look, I appreciate the attention and all, but does any of this benefit me? Because otherwise, you might as well just jeer away. Appreciate the directness. A simple transaction. None of this self-determinism claptrap. Just two people haggling out a deal. Name's Himanshu Tegulapalli, regional brand manager for Tau Ceti, Spacer's Choice. Auntie has it in for all of us former reps, but me in particular. Been humiliating Spacer's Choice every chance she gets. You seen those display images mocking the Moon Man, dressed up like a baby? Petty stuff. Being completely one-sided. Till now. You bet. I want my turn. Figured I earned it. I mean, look at me. I taped a particularly scathing diatribe earlier. Patch it into the PA system. Let me have my say. The PA system controls are in the back room at client intake. Had it all worked out earlier, before I got caught. The audio cartridge is in an evidence locker in the room behind that desk. Bet if you just ask the guard over there nicely for access, she'd open it right up for you. Wonderful. That broadcast is gonna be the finest verbal rebuke of my career.
Welcome to The Brig by Corporate Compliance. What is it? Well, you'd probably pay me to remotely unlock it, and/or ask me in a remarkably debonair fashion. All right, see that door behind me? It's suddenly somehow been left mysteriously unlocked. Pleasure doing business at you.
Them wraps all taken care of yet? All good news to me, friend. Anything happens down there is not my responsibility. I have ceased all manner of worry and fret. Here's the unagreed upon amount that constitutes your fee.
Nice work. A sterling performance. By both of us. I've been waiting to give everybody here a piece of my mind for some time now. You've heard about the Spacer's Choice and Auntie Cleo merger, I'm sure. But things went down a little differently than Auntie makes out around here. Auntie was attempting a hostile takeover, but we outplayed her, voted her and her execs out. And we shipped Auntie and all her diehard followers out to Tau Ceti as an example. After Earth went dark, Auntie was technically the senior ranking executive in Tau Ceti, and she used that to take over the colony. But everything she's been doing since has been quasi-legal at best, including her being CEO of Auntie's Choice. With Earth being dark, no one has proof to call her on it. This little ruse of hers will collapse and she'll be exposed for every corporation to see. Then, law willing, she'll be executed for treason against a legitimate corporation. If I were Auntie, and thankfully I'm not, I'd say she's betting if she takes over Arcadia, she can prevent all that from happening. Success here leading to success there and such. What I had to say was more important. People here needed to hear how bad they've been bamboozled by that self-determinism claptrap. The rest is going to come out eventually anyway. After that, we can all go back to exploiting each other honestly. No thanks. Once Spacer's Choice is back in control, I'll be running this place in no time.
Any update on the man in the Moon Man mask? Heard the announcement, assumed that was your doing. Wait! What?
What? But Auntie said the last message that arrived from Earth was the board putting her in charge. Guess that does sound rather convenient.
Wait, this is bad. Knowing this is not good. This sort of dirt gets a person killed. This may call for an executive decision.
What does the middle manager handbook say to do at a time like this?
Says here, unfinished business leaves one undone. Trim loose ends before everything comes unraveled. Well, that sounds rather dire, contextually. What do all of you think? Are you feeling reassured here? Not sure I am.
I was, but now your lack of certitude has got me starting to worry. Sounds like a tip-top action plan to me. Granted, a call like that's entirely above my pay grade.
We accept your terms. Consider this final payment for services rendered. Never speak about this to anyone.
Commander, wanted to chat with you about the cartridge that courier gave us. Ain't heard from Ortiz in, might well have been a year at this point. That's how it goes when you've fallen behind and the other's got no choice but to keep moving. If he's spending his hard-earned bits to contact me now, there must be a real good reason. Would you watch the message with me? Suppose I am. He's a good friend of mine, or at least he was. I missed him. But I weren't under any presumptions that our friendship would last the moment our unit was dissolved, or we otherwise parted ways. If something's wrong, I ain't in any position to fix it. True. Thanks, Commander. Would you do the honors and get it going? Commander, I ain't sure what to make of Ortiz's message. He's dying. If it's as he says, I ain't got a choice. I gotta find that lab and put a stop to things. Will you help me? I don't even know how to answer that. I thought I might be able to see him again when all this was over, but I can't. All I can think to do now is get moving. Thank you, Commander. Now we just need to find those ice caves on Cloister. We keep our lamps lit, we ought to find the lab without much of a fuss. I hope.
Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now I'm out and about again. That's where the error occurred, I believe. Others judged it such. I shut it down. Believe I was wrong to do so. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Pass, on account of my decision. Hardly. Quite the opposite, in fact. She's one of the finest minds to ever grace the Order. Her research was unconventional, surely. She was as well. I think with both, we could right things, get the Order back on its intended path. Inquire away. I may even respond. Presiding Bishop Orlo, yes. Ruth Bassar's predecessor. And better. Now there was a scientician. A true adherent to Order principles. Ran an efficient operation to boot. For a while, I'd hoped all this recent brouhaha, the schism, invasion, the rifts, was part of some long-foreseen predictive plan on her part. Something oblique only at the moment. The more time passes, the less I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm missing a few key variables, or maybe she's a bit mathematically challenged. Are you asking me to reveal details of high-level covert operations? For the former head of the Order? To you, an agent for another party? I doubt you're willing to offer me a thorough accounting of your past assignments, and I bet the Earth Directorate had you on all sorts of clandestine initiatives. I'm not saying never, but we only just met, dear. Trust takes time. Because all the good mathematical terms were already taken by my predecessors? Because nothing gets past me, someone once thought, perhaps. I'm sure I don't know, dear. Whoever came up with that particular sobriquet is surely long since dead and buried, hopefully by my hand. I try to kill only when necessary. Granted, our missions mean that occurs fairly often. I assume that's in line with your thinking, too. Yes? Yes, this verbal resolution thing is, well, quite novel. I'm amazed how often it actually works. Keep expecting half these hullheads to argue themselves into an early grave. May all our travails add to the equation.
Hold. We're presently observing a ceasefire with Auntie's choice, but its duration may be subject to sudden reversal. Would hate for you to get caught in any crossfire. Gathering data on the enemy's movements and behavior. Blizzards raise the degree of difficulty, but that's our problem, not yours. How comforting objective truth can be. Cloister has been a difficult front, and losing the Archive, first to the invaders and now to the Protectorate, has made it even more painful. Never mind the rifts. If you're looking for a way to help us out, I recommend heading to Laplace's garden. Follow this path and you can't miss it. Only the finest place on this ice ball. Words aren't sufficient to capture its many quality attributes. Best you observe it yourself. Avalanche collapsed part of the tunnel to the garden, so the safest path is along the cliffside here. Mind your step.
On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? You're right. My response was too ambiguous. Allow me to be more direct. Those in the garden have enough perspective to remain present and to focus on what matters: science and progress. And you for recognizing such quality of vision. But now, I fear I have kept you long past an ideal duration. May all your problems precede solutions.
Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Before I can administer your conviction, I need to ask you a question. In what area of your life do you feel you need the most improvement? Personal or professional? Expand on that for me. You are a single gear in the grand workings of the universe, and should not expect to control all of its mechanisms or outcomes. Good. Never forget that you are a valuable factor in the universal equation and necessary to advancing the plan. Now then, a brief conversation is customary following the initial service. I haven't seen you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. I'd have run the mugs through the autoclave twice if I'd known the garden was receiving visitors now. All right, your turn. What questions have you got percolating in that mind of yours? I didn't hear a question. Everyone is simply contented by the good work they're doing to advance the plan. Everything in perfect exactitude, as Vicar Udicott might say. That said, if something more sinister was going on, would that concern you? Well, good thing nothing's amiss then.
You know, you do a passable impression of a scientician. Did you grow up near one of our settlements? Have a few years of order training?
I'm quite sure I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I understand you may technically count as a member, but there's a perfunctory element to your articulation. You don't believe in the plan, and you're clearly up to something. She sized you up almost immediately, Commander. Been softly probing you for information. I clocked her the first moment she opened her mouth. Excellent question. I've been wondering the same thing. Well, do I have to shoot up the place? Or will you come clean immediately? Who do you work for, little mole?
By the architect, keep your voice down, please. Even if what you say is true, this isn't a conversation best had amidst present company. Let's talk somewhere more private. Behind the CAF integration point, perhaps?
Hello. Welcome to CAF Integration Point. I'm Junior Caffeine Celebrant Runch, and I'll be happy to assist you today. Oh, she's a real top-of-class type. Smart, but also patient. I struggle sometimes with my advanced courses, but Persephone's been tutoring me after work hours. I'm just glad she doesn't mind teaching the same lesson twice. Anyway, I'd hate to waste any more of your free study period with my idle thoughts. Anything else I can help with? Apologies. As a junior celebrant, I'm only permitted to distribute caffeine at this time. But my colleague, Miss Doyle, will be able to assist with convictions when she's back on shift. Is this another census? Or my previous answers not sufficient? I could spend all day expositing on the benefits of the garden, but I think you'll experience much of it yourself. If you're permitted to stay, of course.
You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. I'm limiting my water intake and using other pharmaceuticals to combat the effects. It's not a perfect system, but it works adequately enough. It makes the mind quieter, like closing the door on a screaming crowd. It's not unpleasant. It'd be a lot more difficult to conduct my survey of the garden from outside the garden. Moderate your volume, please. No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. No. This is about control. Everything is. Most see this as a war of survival. But what everyone's really fighting for is control over the narrative. To be declared victor and have their vision for Arcadia deemed superior. It follows that a drug capable of suppressing discontent could also be used to suppress greater forms of resistance. That's all. Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it Perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier.
I remember the days when Laplace's garden lived up to its estimable purpose. Now look at it. The fountain in disrepair, pedagogy in the park, even the lights above our heads have winked out like stars taken down from the sky. Nevertheless, one must persist. The plan is good. The shadow of ignorance cannot withstand its light. Oh, I couldn't say. This isn't my college, as it were. I'm a vicar. I tend to people's philosophical needs and leave the management of the garden to others. I knew you had a knowledgeable look about you. That would be wonderful. Thank you, dear. There's a panel just here. I will supervise from a respectable distance, but know that I am with you in theory, like the architect's own guiding hand. And so there was light. My sincerest thanks. I will be sure to extol your virtues to the laureates the next time we speak. And here, a little treat for your effort.
Shh! If I'm caught talking during this makeup exam, what does it matter? Can't mark the occipital from the parietal with these voided questions. And is there something wrong with the air recyclers? It's getting hard to breathe. Oh, good. Just me then. Can't believe my future in the Order will be decided by an understanding of the vaporescent properties of trinitrotoluenes. I don't even like bitrotoluenes. My vision's gone a bit fuzzy, but the exam's right here on the monitor. Have a look. You asked! I'm already perspiring beyond acceptable odor levels, thank you. I'm sure I'd recover my wits enough to tackle the rest of the test if you can just help me make sense of the first question. Just be discreet, won't you? My vision's gone a bit fuzzy, but the exam's right here on the monitor. Have a look. Is that what it means by categorizing by propellant attributes? By the architect, that question could have been phrased more clearly. Plan favor your endeavors. You don't know how much you've helped me. The rest of this exam will be rocket science, metaphorically speaking. Stashed a few, learning tools on the balcony of Cap Integration Point where I like to study. They're all yours. Just hop the short wall near the serving area. And thanks.
Wish I'd had someone like you swoop in during my explosive certifications. Might have kept my eyebrows.
When that student later fails in the field due to your misplaced intercession, hopefully they live to learn from it.
The operating theater is not conducting viewing dissections at this time. That is not an invitation to return to your study and perform exploratory surgery on yourself or a willing volunteer, just to be clear. Not as concerning as some of the scenes I have been called to in the middle of the night. I assure you, the warning is justified. But I trust you are here for a reason other than to discuss scalpel-happy novices. Obviously. Do you think we drink unfiltered snow melt? I'm quite sure I have no knowledge of what you're talking about. I don't care. Is there anything else I can assist you with? That is best answered through observation. Here, have a look.
Ah, there you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's Choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
A visitor? It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another prediction that he hasn't seen fit to notify me about. A more cynical exemplar might posit his doing this to be intentional. If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support, which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. I'm glad we're in accord. The presiding bishop's leadership allows the Order to act in Arcadia's best interest. Without her, we would be nothing. The corporate invaders will suck Arcadia of its resources and cast it to the wind. And the Protectorate are no better than machines. Moreover, once we solve the universal equation, It will benefit all of humanity. You, me, everyone. No more suffering. No more doubt. First, there is the matter of proving your aims align with ours. To that end, there are some elements that need erasing. Do so, and we may begin to speak of your desires. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there. If the Order could predict the future infallibly, my mentors would be alive. Seers become less accurate the more specific and more distant the prediction. All that aside, you shall need the Order's trust if you wish to see Ruth. This task will allow that. Journey to Newton. Eliminate the cultists to a person. Then we may speak of getting you an audience with Ruth. Newton contains the Six Pillars Chantry, which was one of the first temples founded after Arcadia's colonization. It's over 100 years old. The cultists are likely profaning it. But even if they aren't, I don't want them there. Our loss of Newton is symbolic. If we cannot protect it, how can we protect Arcadia? I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
We should collect Azza from the ship first. Unless you don't want the benefits of her inside knowledge of the cult.
I hope you have good news for me. You remind me of my predecessor. Greedy as an equation is long. If only she'd had the wisdom to match. But, very well. Can't say you haven't earned it. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Aw, wondering if you'll ever see me again? Precious. I'll remain in the garden a little while longer, but it would be best if we limited contact with one another. No offense. But who knows? The plan mystifies even the greatest minds. Perhaps our paths will intersect again someday.
I always find I work best when undistracted. One could say I find the cultist at Newton quite the interruption to my focus. Now, how might we be of use to one another? I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation, but perhaps this will be illuminating in some fashion. Who told you about that? Were there an experiment being conducted here involving any kind of medicament? Confirming its existence would compromise it. The theoretical existence or non-existence of Order experiments are strictly within the Order's purview. It doesn't concern you. It's not nefarious. It's a waste of time. But fine, you've made your point. We are standing in the experiment. Laplace's garden was built as a scholar's utopia, with this drug Perspective as its regulating reagent. This was supposedly to aid us in deciphering the equation. One would think that an organization at active war would have more pressing responsibilities than a scholar's paradise. But surely, I'm only a pessimist. Specifically, a phlogistinated firearm, capable of tunneling through reinforced armor. Broadly, weaponry, research, anything capable of giving our exemplars an edge. Great. I was just thinking, I'd love for a stranger to come along and patronize me so I could blindly hand them experimental Order technology. I have nothing but respect for Ruth. Without her guidance, the Order may never have found the strength to dissolve its protectorate bonds. If I had to dig for the smallest critique, I'd note that she shoulders too much. If she collapses beneath the strain, the Order will be rudderless. This we cannot afford. I generally prefer to keep discussions relevant.
Finally! Maybe now I can get to the truth of this kill order nonsense. I just need to check our comms device for a coded message from my old acquaintance, Severin. I knew it! He wants to help me find out who's behind this. I sent a reply telling him to meet me here on Cloister. It's not too far and should be safe.
I've no fair ideas of how to proceed, White. Nothing we do seems to garner the... Yes? Can I, wait. Welcome, potential customer, to the majesty of Auntie's military might. Normally, I would be at your service, but I'm dealing with a situation here. It's really none of your...
Sarge, maybe they can help. The two of us are certainly out of options.
And who'll pay them for the assistance? You? Very well. The issue is our compatriot, Trooper Hayes. He seems to have some kind of break or shock to the head, and he's, well...
Same sucker, bad habit blocker. It tracks every movement like a hunting death stalker. Try a gross habit, it shocks and nadgy bits. This flogger's a stopper, you just can't brush off her.
He's that.
Ever since the attack last night, he's been unresponsive and communicating only in jingles. At first I thought it might be some manner of marketing ploy, but it seems permanent. The artillery bombardment was particularly heavy last night before the assault began, and the rounds shook the ground so badly that our lantern flew off its hook on the wall. Hayes put his hands over his ears, lay feet on the ground, and after the only thing that had come from his mouth were jingles. Old archaic jingles, ones I haven't heard in years. We must rouse him back to sanity. He's their sole earner, and should he be discharged, just the cost of his family's lodgings on the claim is more than enough to bankrupt them. Yes. Well, maybe. They're the kind of sales roles you take when you're young, before you reach an age to become a real earner. All right, I guess we can do that. Hayes, I'll take 5 bottles of Calorie Killer, please.
Absolutely. I have a whole sales sampler full of all the calorie... what is... Was I just trying to sell you something?
You don't remember? He's been wandering around singing nothing but jingles for almost 2 whole days.
Poppycock! I don't even know any jingles by heart.
Well, I'll be damned. I absolutely cannot believe that worked. Thank you for your help, stranger. His whole family would owe you a debt, if they had anything to pay it with.
I'm certain as soon as I talk to Severin, I'll be able to figure this all out. No matter how I turn this over in my mind, I find no answers. Perhaps their faith failed them, and they succumbed to greed, sold us out for some measly bits. I can't, but I'm fairly confident he wouldn't. If he did, he'll die like the rest of them. Then I'd truly be at a loss, with no idea how to get back in the Dawn's good graces. If we're so deeply infiltrated, I'm certain our leader will have gone to ground.
Say, have you ever considered the benefits of becoming a semi-confidential, unpaid informant for Auntie's Choice? Breathe once for yes. Field Agent Auerbach, proprietary inside acquisition. Our team's presently occupying these premises, but haven't fully brought them to heel, per se. Would you happen to be familiar with this campus? We're not entirely clear what it was used for. Far as we can tell, order's been cleared out for some time. If not, I might politely inquire what exactly you're doing here. We scour rival facilities for hidden recipes, secret formulas, special ingredients, and assorted confidential internal know-how, then develop it into products to bring to market. It's a unique brand of warfare, exclusive to Auntie's Choice, designed to break incredible ingenuities out of cloistered captivity and share them across the galaxy. Information wants to be freed, then priced and shared along understood lines of commodification and distribution. Based on your reticence, I take it you're bound for unorthodox notion reclusion then. How exceedingly ill-advised. Oh, well, suppose we'll let you in. You might disable a death trap or 2 with your bodies, then we can step over your cadavers and maybe use them for a shield. Alternately, if you manage to find anything marketable, probably be game to barter for it later.
You're new. Don't seem like another one of these trade secret vultures either. War means nothing to them, you know. How about you? Know there's a war on, don't you? You here to help me win it? Oh, been out in the field, have you? I like the sound of that. Might be just the go-getter I need. Thing is, our local forces are in something of a bind. A protectorate camp effectively bisected the territory we presently occupy. An intolerable vulnerability. Said camp is situated betwixt here and points to the north. Take it out, reconnect the territories, and walk away somewhat richer. You mean, what would you get? Some bits, equipment, improved good graces with Auntie's choice, reasonable rate for the work involved. Excellent, excellent. If you're agreeable to other work, I have something light. Simple shakedown, really. Couldn't be easier. A Sub Rosa finagler operates out of the Port Authority building at the landing pad near Winter's Grasp. Sub Rosa works with both sides, understood. But I want to know what she's into with the Protectorate. Let's say I'm curious. What, and leave this place to the likes of them? Someone needs to keep an eye on these trade secret vultures. As such, I need to contract others to advance my concerns. Look forward to hearing what she knows.